Welcome to the PhoneArena.com review of the AT&T Palm Centro. The Centro carried by AT&T is nearly identical to the Sprint Centro we reviewed several months back. Today we'll focus on the highlights of what's different between the two. As you can see, the design is nearly identical. The dimensions are the same, and while you may or may not be able to tell in this video, the black for the Centro from AT&T is a jet black as opposed to the mica black from the Sprint Centro. The other color option available is white, which Sprint does not carry. Obviously the CDMA radio has been swapped out for a GSM one, and in this case it is a quad band radio. One thing that's missing, however, is 3G data. Instead, it runs on the Edge network, which immediately makes this Centro a step down from the CDMA EVDO variant. That said, there are still a ton of things that we love about this phone, just like we did the first time around. The size is still perfect for the hand, and the keyboard, though small, is very easy to use. The Palm operating system is very straightforward, very simplistic, which we find to be both great for new users, but a drawback for power users. As always, there is plenty of third-party applications available to make the phone do what you want. We just wished it looked a little bit prettier. AT&T did take the liberty of skinning the phone application, however. Now you have a 5-tabbed orientation for your recent calls, contacts, a wallpaper screen which serves no other purpose, favorites, and your dial pad. One thing this does allow the user to do is to set a wallpaper, as you can see here, without losing the dial pad, which you would do in the normal Palm software. The difference isn't really functional, no big deal, but it's one of those little things that makes the phone look a little bit nicer. Beyond the major 3G difference, everything else is pretty much carrier customization. For instance, AT&T includes their push-to-talk software on the phone, where Sprint does not. Express Mail replaces Sprint mobile email. AT&T Music offers a portal to download music or listen to XM radio. You have other very similar products. For instance, the instant messaging program is the exact same one found on Sprint, but this time it has AT&T branding. Just as before, we really like this service. It allows you to sign on to all three of the programs at the same time, and it does run in the background. Mobi TV is in place of Sprint TV, and as we'll fire up a channel here, you can see that load times and video quality, as well as audio quality, is good. One thing that we did find, however, was that as we moved around, sometimes we would lose the signal, and it would take a while to catch up. This is basically the same technology used in the Sprint TV service, so we're not surprised to find that it's pretty similar. We feel the reason that it takes a while to catch up is because of the Edge data speeds as opposed to the EVDO speeds.
That's just a little bit too high. Anytime you're up in the gray, that's a no-no. Boy, she gets away with that. That's it.
The main features remain the same. They're the same Palm stalwarts we've seen for years. For instance, the calendar, the contact list, the camera and camcorder are all the same. Documents to Go will handle Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and PDF files. Pocket Tunes is also on board to handle your media playback. And again, it's a great program. Another difference with this one and the Sprint version is AT&T has included navigation service. It's something that you pay extra for, but at least you have the option. And the last thing is they have included voice signal for their voice dialing program, as opposed to the voice command program we found on the Sprint version and other Palm phones. While we love the voice signal program, it works great and you'll find it on most OEM phones. The voice command program on other Palm products is much more full-featured and allows you to do several things, such as compose emails straight from your voice. That's one thing that we really wish we would have seen on this version. Lastly, we'll find the web. As you can see here, the page will take a little while to load. We've actually preloaded this page, so it may take a bit quicker, but in general it took us on the better side of 5 minutes to load the Phone Arena web page. It did render the page relatively accurately. Again, Palm is using Blazor as their browser, but the slow page loads are definitely noticeable over the Edge network. All things considered, we still like the GSM Palm Centro very much. We're not quite as enamored with it as we were with the CDMA Centro, mostly because of the lack of 3G radio, but it remains an excellent entry-level smartphone, or a smaller option for those looking for all the power of a regular Palm device. The full Qwerty keyboard is easy to use, the screen is bright, crisp, and responsive, and the size is perfect for just about any hand. Plus, at a $99 price point, it's pretty hard to beat.